in a remote mountainous area. We're stood in front of an abandoned sanatorium known as the Ghostly Asylum. It was said that decades ago, this dreadful building was abandoned after a devastating fire, a fire that reportedly claimed many lives. I joined a group of curious and adventurous explorers who were eager to uncover the secrets of this forgotten place. As we crossed the threshold of this crumbling structure, I felt a distinct chill, as if an unseen presence was closely observing our every move. Night fell, and we collectively decided to camp inside the sanatorium, preparing to explore further the next day. However, in the dead of night, strange sounds began to echo through the hallways, intermittent cries and whispers that sent shivers down my spine. Suddenly, one of our female adventurers mysteriously vanished. Panic spread as we desperately searched for her in the darkness, but we found no trace of her. Fear gripped us, knowing we had to escape this terrifying place as soon as possible. Yet when we attempted to leave, we discovered that all the doors were locked, and the cries and whispers grew clearer as if countless ghosts were surrounding us. In our desperation, we found a door wide open, leading to the basement of the sanatorium. With no other choice, we entered the basement hoping to find an escape route. As we ventured deeper into the underground, we stumbled upon a hidden room. On its walls hung names and photographs of victims. These victims had endured torture within the hospital, and some names were marked with horrifying notes like starved and unrescued. Among these victims, some had perished from hunger, their skeletal forms and hollow eyes carrying the agony of their living days. Others had met an unrescued death, possibly trapped within this massive structure, unnoticed as their lives gradually faded, becoming a part of this dreadful place. This terrifying discovery made us realise that these ghosts were embodiments of the victims' resentments and hatred. They were once human but had suffered unbearable torment within this dreadful place, and their pain was forever entwined with the abandoned sanatorium. With these revelations, our fear intensified and an increasingly powerful malevolent force seemed to reside within the basement. Soon after, the basement door silently closed, trapping us in darkness. Our heartbeats quickened and fear enveloped us. In the darkness, we began to hear footsteps as if countless pairs of feet were drawing near. Then ghostly sounds filled the air, roars, cries and whispers intermingled like voices from the abyss, pushing us to the brink of madness. Trembling, we pulled out our phones, turned on our flashlights and saw apparitions all around us, their faces contorted with hatred, their gaze fixed on us, the living. Piercing screams echoed in the basement, and our desperate attempts to escape proved futile. Just as despair was about to consume us, the basement walls began to tremble. It seemed that a powerful force was approaching. We felt an evil force gathering, an intangible oppression settling upon us. Then the basement floor suddenly collapsed, swallowing us. We tumbled into a dark abyss below, filled with dreadful echoes. We struggled within, unable to find an exit. But just when hope was on the verge of fading, a rope suddenly extended from a ventilation shaft, followed by the head of a woman, a same adventurer who had gone missing before. She used the rope to help us climb out of the shaft and then hurriedly guided us through narrow passages, successfully leading us out of the sanatorium. As we emerged from that dreadful building, the woman who had gone missing mysteriously disappeared once again. When we looked back at the sanatorium, we saw countless ghosts sitting on the windows, including the female adventurer who gestured to us. She was the one who had gone missing before. We hastily fled that horrifying place, but each of us carried trauma deep within, and this experience became our eternal nightmare.